Hello and welcome to Dawn of Comics. Today I want to talk facsimile editions. I'm a sucker for a facsimile edition because they are usually for comics that I couldn't warrant spending that sort of money on, or simply couldn't spend that much money on. The difference between a Millennium reprint, a dollar comic, a Image First or a Marvel True Believers is, yes, it's that comic, but all the adverts are new, all the adverts are from the time that was printed. Unlike a facsimile edition, where all the adverts inside are exactly the same as the adverts that would have been printed when this comic was released. So this is my first facsimile edition. This is what pretty much got me into facsimile editions. It's the Loot Crate exclusive for Action Comics. It's got a certificate of authenticity. I don't know how you authenticate a duplicate or a copy. I don't think that's allowed. I don't think if I drew a picture of the Mona Lisa and put a certificate of authenticity on it, that would count for anything. But so this is the facsimile edition for that. I haven't opened it. I do have one that's opened. The problem is I've put it in a different comic box and I can't find it. So the thing is, I'll show you in another facsimile edition why the adverts are so important to the feel of a facsimile edition. So that's Action Comics #1. DC and Marvel both bring out facsimile editions quite regularly, and I tend to pick up the ones for the comics that I like, or the characters that I like. I won't pick up every single facsimile edition because, one, it adds a lot of money to my pull list each month, but also I have no intention of reading it. So there's no point in me buying it just to put it in a box somewhere when, if it's rare or if they don't print enough, someone that actually wants to read it and collect it can have it. So I don't want to take away comics from people just for the sake of it. So I'll only buy the ones that I want. So when Marvel started, they did a couple that I really wanted. So I got the Fantastic Four facsimile edition. So this is first appearance of the Fantastic Four. It's got August there. The only difference between the original comic is the price and the barcode, obviously, but everything else is exactly the same. So these are $4, which is, depending on who you shop with, £3.50 to £3.80. Some even charge you £3.99. But I'll just have a quick open and I'll show you just why a facsimile edition is so awesome to read. When you flick through and you just have adverts like this, they're absolutely crazy because it's for things that don't work, things that were a complete waste of money. I mean, this is how to gain up to 50 pounds of mighty muscle, and I doubt that worked. I doubt anyone who bought any of that managed to gain 50 pounds of muscle, but the story's great. But you just have these, look, terrible commercials. I mean, why are kids going to want to buy shoes in your book? These were aimed at children. But I do like the adverts for the joke gags and things like this. All these little things. You've got hot candy, bitter cigarettes, foaming sugar. It's just absolutely, it's just a joy to read. I mean, it doesn't throw me back to my childhood because I'm not that old. I'm old, I'm just not this old. But it's just absolutely fantastic. So that's why I love facsimile editions so much. It's not just the story, not just the characters, it's also the adverts and getting to see what people were trying to sell you back in the day. You know, this is the 60s. They were trying to sell you so much crap back then. So I got Fantastic Four #1, which is awesome. I also have the X-Men #1. So that, again, that was $4, I believe, $4, yeah. So that's awesome to have. I also have the Marvel True Believers version of this. So what they did, they brought out the dollar version, which I bought, and I also got this one. They were going to bring out a dollar version of this, but then they stopped and just brought out the facsimile edition, which is a shame because I would have bought both. I also have the Amazing Spider-Man 252 facsimile edition. I think that's the first appearance of his black suit. I don't have the actual comic, but it's nice to have a facsimile edition, which is as close as you're going to get. And I have the New Mutants 98, which is Deadpool's first appearance. So again, I have the dollar reprint of this, the Marvel True Believers, and I have this one. So yeah, I'll grab that where I can. So that's awesome, bit of Deadpool. Moving on to DC, I have the House of Secrets number 92, which is the first appearance of Swamp Thing. So this would have been, what year would this have been? 1971. Wow. So let's see, what kind of adverts have we got? Straight off the bat, we've got Mattel selling some weird car that lifts up. I will say the DC ones feel a lot more accurate to the time. The paper feels a lot older, whereas the Marvel ones feel very new. The paper is very new. Hey, look, they're even selling you wedding rings and engagement rings in a comic book. So even in the 70s, these weren't really aimed at children. So I want to get to the jokey adverts. There's got to be one in here somewhere. There has to be. Quick flick, quick flick. I shouldn't just be flicking through a comic. No. Ah, there you go. There's the joke page. It's the final page with all the gag gifs and all the terrible things that never worked. What have we got here? We've got a boomerang. I mean, just cause. Learn how to throw your voice. I mean, these things are dreadful. See behind you glasses. They have some glasses so you can see behind you. And they were 75 cents, so not majorly expensive. I suppose by today's standards, not expensive, but back then that must be quite pricey. But that's the joy of a facsimile edition. It's the absolutely dreadful adverts that were in there. Next up, I have Batman and Robin: The Teen Wonder 232. He dies. I'm wondering if this is the first appearance of Ra's al Ghul. No, it's probably a bit late for that, isn't it? A Tale to Haunt You Forever, Daughter of the Demon. Maybe the first Talia al Ghul then. So that's cool. That was $3.99. I also got Batgirl's first appearance in Detective Comics, $3.59. So that's awesome. And again, like I say, the only difference is the price and the barcode. So it's not a problem. I mean, I have... Is she up here? I have the Millennium edition. So it shows you the cover's pretty accurate. I mean, they haven't really changed much from the original cover. It is just that barcode, which is pretty cool. I also have the Batman 181, which is the first appearance of Poison Ivy. And I do believe this does come with the poster as well, which is what you'll find missing from quite a few of the actual first appearances. So I'm wondering, the skeptic in me is wondering if people have bought this, removed the poster to add it to their original Batman 181, and is using it as the actual poster to maybe up the grade or the price of their original. So I would be very, very dubious about buying a 181 with the poster attached, with the poster included, maybe loose. If it was attached, I'd be fine. If the poster comes attached but loose, I would be very, very dubious knowing that this is out. Let's have a quick look at the poster. Let's have a quick look, because it will be the center page, I would wager. There you go. So there's the center page poster. So, and because it does feel very, very old, the paper does feel very, very old. So, I mean, you could. I'm not saying you should, and I'm not saying people are, but I'm saying I would be very dubious about buying a Batman 181 if the poster was loose because of this facsimile edition. Next I have The Brave and the Bold, Justice League 28. Yes, so I have two of these. Well, I have this one that you pay $3.99 for from the store, and I also have the one that came in the Loot Crate box. I just forgot to grab it. So I have two facsimile. That's essentially another facsimile edition. So that's awesome. I have the Flash 121, which is the first appearance. I mentioned it in a previous video. I weren't too sure if the Flashes were meeting in this issue, because I have the facsimile edition in the Loot Crate exclusive variant, but that's got Grant Gustin as the Flash on the cover. I also have Detective Comics 38, which is the first appearance of Robin, and if I'm not mistaken, I'm just going to keep taking these all off the wall. If I'm not mistaken, I have the Millennium edition of that as well, which is pretty cool. Happy with that. I love those cases. It's just so easy to take them off and on the wall. So that's cool. I also have Secret Origins of Superheroes, issue 17, the first appearance of the Huntress. Pretty cool. This is is that Helena Wayne? Was she Helena Wayne when she first appeared? I think she was, because she's from Earth 2. So that's Batman and Catwoman's daughter. Great cover there. And the most recent one I got was Batman Detective Comics 475. And I'm not sure why they've made this a facsimile edition. I don't know what's special about this. What is the secret of the Joker's new weapon, the laughing fish? Maybe it's the first appearance of the laughing fish. I don't know. I might have to look into that and see why they made a facsimile edition of that. But it is a great cover. Absolutely great cover. So those are some of my facsimile editions. I just wanted to have a little chat and tell you why I like facsimile editions so much. Those ads inside are so much fun. If you get a chance to grab a facsimile edition, if you can find one in a 50p bin or a pound shop or something like that, somewhere where they're a pound box, if they're cheap, if you're not into facsimile editions, just grab one. Super cheap to just have a look at the adverts. It's so much fun. The things that they were trying to sell you was absolutely ridiculous. They wouldn't get away with it today because trading standards would not allow you to sell X-ray specs, because they're not X-ray specs and they don't work. So yeah, just pick one up. If you've got any that I don't have, which will be loads because I don't have every single one, but show me what you've got. Show me what you got, so I can see if there are any more that I'm missing that I didn't even know about, because that would be great. You'll find me on Twitter and Instagram at Dawn of Comics, and just send me a message, or tag me in a post or something. Let me know so I can have a look. I would really appreciate that. So I'm gonna go, and until next time, stay safe and take care. Bye.